What's up, my support fibromyalgia friends? Let's see if technology is working for me today. It's been a tough morning, but I definitely wanted to jump on here, say hello to everyone. How are you all doing? I haven't had a chance to say hello and celebrate with you all of the festivities going on after Advocacy Day. It's been a long, long week. But we did it Advocacy Day very successful on May 11th, and then we jumped into Fibromyalgia Awareness Day, and I meant to jump on, but we have been writing appropriations requests like no other, just trying to get in. I was surprised at all the appropriations requests that we were able to do and all the thank you emails. So shout outs to all the team leaders and all the advocates, actually fibromyalgia delegates that were joining us on the Hill. It was an amazing experience, and I'm always inspired by all of everyone's story and all the courage and the bravery it takes to share that story publicly and with our congressional leaders. So I'm inspired by all of you. And then again, with our team leads taking on a lot of meetings. I was exhausted afterwards, and then we debriefed for a little bit afterwards too. It was exhausting. I'm going to finally admit that I am tired. So please don't use me as an example. If you have surgery, do rest. Do not do a hill day right after. But it means a lot to everyone involved that we get the advocacy going and we continue to support all of you in the community and hear from our congressional leaders and let them know about the impact fibromyalgia has on your life, and it matters and it's important, and they need to understand that. And we did have a special ask for them this year with the appropriations request, which is part of this video and what we need help with. But there's just huge shout outs to the fibromyalgia delegates that participated. It takes a lot of energy. It takes up time and energy to take these meetings, even though they're virtual. And I know next year in early March or February, it looks like we're going to have to do a hybrid event coming soon, but virtually it's a lot, and it's a lot of planning. And our team leads jumped in too at the last minute. We were texting people to just kind of jump in literally at the last minute to take some extra meetings that were getting rescheduled. And that's what happens too. Some of the congressional leaders will email at the last second, they can't make it, or you have technical stuff going on. So you have to reschedule for later in the day. It's a very fluid experience. So everyone that joined us, super brave, courageous, and patient, and we all appreciate it, and we are moving forward. Appropriations requests are circulating, so this is going to be part of our rally to get senators aboard, and I'm going to walk you through some of the process if we need. But just amazing job from everyone. High fives to everyone out there. Virtual high fives. I wish I could give everyone hugs in person. It's definitely an energy that we generated to get this through. And I just finished a meeting too with the Michigan team. Amazing group of individuals there doing awesome work in Michigan. So shout out to all of them. And you're going to be hearing much more of the work being done for Michigan as well. And I mean, even with just mentioning all the work that they're doing, from nonprofit organization work, community outreach, support group work, bloggers, like all over in this group. It's just incredible to see and support all of you. So definitely stay tuned for more shout outs as we go through. Yes, there's Crystal, definitely Team Fibro, everyone working together. Crystal is like the all-star here with following up on appropriations emails and afterwards. Like, we were so tired after Hill Day on May 11th, and then we went to debrief to try to get our notes together because we need to get these appropriation requests in super, super fast. And it's definitely been a task. And Crystal still took a meeting this morning, a makeup meeting with Nevada. And then she also did one with John and all of them too, like a Monday morning. So we're still rescheduling. There's some more meetings coming up on the 24th. So you can see we're working ahead, and we do need to take some better time to rest. I don't know, maybe when May's done, we can get some more of that in. But I did want to mention too, a big shout out to Lois from Team Michigan for the Muskegon Fibro Chronic Pain Group. I had to make sure to write that down to get that right. And when they meet, when it comes up to their meetings, let me just double check to make sure that I get that information right too, because she just sent it to me. It's all within like brain fog, but she's doing amazing work over there. There's Michigan support groups. You have a lot of Michigan support. So if you are in the state of Michigan, we have people that we can direct you to. And actually, we have a lot of resources in different states. So we are definitely bringing it with contacts, and it was a great community event. So Lois's group meets the first and third Thursday of each month, and they're going to be working on looking at Zoom and how they can better support the area. So I just wanted to do a quick shout out to that team and their rally and giving feedback on the event and moving forward to support the state of Michigan. It definitely, I guess they were talking about California support. So California, we're going to be going forward too. Speaking of California, delegates and friends, Saturday is Looms for Lupus's May wellness event for lupus, fibromyalgia, and mental health. So be sure to register for that free event. It is this Saturday. They have a lot of good breakout rooms for wellness, so don't miss that, and go to Looms for Lupus's pages to register. They're sharing speakers right now, so you can see who the guests are coming up. So there's a lot of amazing support. We do have a book share that we wanted to shout out for Melissa Reynolds and her new book that just arrived. So we'll be sharing pictures with you, and we do want to run some contests. Or giveaways, not contests, giveaways. And I'm trying to figure out the best way to execute that from That Gaming Dad, Melissa, Butterfly Chats, and Latoya. We want to figure out a way to package this to do some giveaways for you, books and other resources if there are people out there. As we continue the spirit of Fibromyalgia Awareness Month, and we do have a special picture we still want to share for Anne. She was on the team for South Dakota. She got a proclamation for fibromyalgia, so shout out to her, as well as taking meetings. And she's continued to take meetings in advocacy. So we got to rally around Anne and her daughter over there in South Dakota. If you live in South Dakota, we have a great contact for you, and she's digging in and doing amazing work for fibromyalgia, and started to finish up some health coaching classes as well. So really incredible spirit going on all over the country, and honestly all over the world, because we have a lot of international friends. So we're going to be doing a lot more now that we're going to organize ourselves with this May. Everything that's gone on with May this first month was definitely something would work. We did a lot of work. And so just going to continue the spirit. More interviews are going to come up from Support Fibro. We are planning doing the fibromyalgia conference. So we talked about that. So Hoppin has reached out and wants to work with the organization to just give, take the streams that we're doing right now through StreamYard and level us up. So I'm excited. It'll be a great virtual conference for all of us, doing different panels, and we're excited to be doing a lot more workshops. I have a lot of information in my head about that, and be reaching out to other participants, because we'll be capable of having even mini workshops that have a little bit of a different feel to them, and we can branch out internationally a lot easier. So we're going to be coordinating for those. And I know the fall fibromyalgia conference, it's going to happen in the fall, and we're barely getting started. So as soon as I unlock the features for Hoppin, I will be diving in, and you'll hear from me shortly. But big news. And I want to share my screen really quick. And again, I'm having trouble. I need to share the window, but it's only letting me share the tab. So I might take a moment to reshare shortly. But I want to draw your attention to this fibromyalgia senator rally. So what we have going on, posted this new blog. We definitely need your help. Again, like, the team leads have done an amazing job rallying particular senators. Appropriation requests are circulating around with the senators. So if you could do us a favor and contribute and reach out to at least your senators by sending them an email message or giving them a call. Calls are always awesome, and you generally leave a voicemail, and we have scripts for you. So I wrote out the script for the blog, and we have a website too that can automatically send a message, which we wrote out, and I'll get to in a second for you. You can find your senators through here and figure out who your senators are. We always recommend you can bookmark it and come back to it for other reasons that you might need. And we have some special tips. I did write out we have the personal script for you. So we wrote that out regarding the appropriations and any information about the request and if we can have support, especially from other senators. So we kind of broke it down in which particular senators. We do have a special call out for people living in South Carolina, Florida, and New York. Special request that they could support calling Senator Graham for constituents of South Carolina, Senator Rubio for Florida constituents, and Senator Schumer for New York constituents to be very, very kind. Please be kind and polite when you leave your voicemails or send those emails, and let them know it's important to support this appropriations letter for fibromyalgia. We've been to their offices before. They know us. They're familiar with fibromyalgia. So let them know and describe the impact too in their life. So this template can be used. Obviously, there's some of our appropriation jargon at the top, and you can fill out your first name and just copy and paste. And if you need any assistance, don't hesitate to reach out. I know we're catching up on a lot of messages and emails, so I'm just giving myself a lot more messages, but it's okay. This is super important for us to do. And be sure to share your story briefly. And then if you have any expertise on the issues, please add that there. But those high value impact points. How has fibromyalgia impacted your life? Just kind of give that summary right there and how this can affect you with the classification. So we're looking for that appropriations funding to open up funding for the reclassification of fibromyalgia. We've tried to simplify. There's a little bit more jargon if you want more logistics, and I'd be happy to continue to explain that to you. I know you've seen conversations. We have live videos where we did our advocacy rally and we talked about why research is important. We've done the rallies with Crystal and Estella and talking about why research is important. So you can go back through those and kind of take away these talking points. And again, if you have any questions, please do share. Please leave us a comment on this video with your questions as well, and I'll be sure to get back to and give you the answers. But we posted this blog for you if you do need any templates. There's also how to call your reps when you have social anxiety. I definitely had social anxiety before I started this process, and I still get a little anxious. So for me, scripts help. And then I kind of take the script and I make it my own with how I would talk, but I always have it in front of me. And this is the great thing about virtual conversation. So I usually put like a text edit pad in front of me, and then I'll definitely just, read it and kind of like get into the rhythm. If I'm making multiple calls, I'll keep reading it and I'll get into more of a rhythm. So I kind of adjust the script as such. But for me, talking out loud and reading it out loud helps me. And then I adjust as it starts to make sense. Or if I notice too, because some days I have really severe brain fog. So when I'm doing talking points, either through work or what we're trying to do with actually making phone calls, I'll read through the script and I'll see if there's any difficult words, and then I'll change it up. So for example, in some of the letters, we've spelled out the National Institute of Health. So you can keep it simple and just say the NIH. So stuff like that, feel free to like change up to mention, to just make it easier to like roll off the tongue, and especially when it's just trying to make sense of the sentence. So we do start out with a script, but please use your voice to adapt it. We're just trying to make sure that we get the right support for the appropriations request letter. And if that's confusing at all, don't hesitate to reach out, because I'd be happy to explain as much as we possibly could, because I know none of us are necessarily politicians, and it's definitely been a learning process for all of us. I'm going to share this screen with you. So this is contact my politician, and there's a button on that very blog as well. And you can just type in your address. So we started to type it in and it'll open up and you'll actually find the people that you need to reach out to. And it's actually interesting. If you feel like it, you can send a letter to President Biden about fibromyalgia, and you can have some more fun with this. So please use the site. Let us know what you think of it, and that way we can report back to them. Again, another great company that reached out and it was like, well, you could give it a try and see how it works for your advocacy events. But I'm looking for Senator Feinstein and I'm looking for Senator Padilla. I didn't get a chance to join Team California because I was jumping around from other meetings, but we did get a chance to meet with Senator Padilla. And then I have some other state senates. It's kind of fun, actually, but you can adjust the letter as such. So we have the subject title for you in here, right here, for support appropriations, and then you can adjust in within 2,000 characters. So we kind of wrote a little bit more for you if you just want to send as such. But I think we do prefer you maybe add more of a little bit of your story, maybe like a couple sentences about your story, and the impact fibromyalgia has had, and you can adjust it here. So this is just a copy and paste, but if you're starting to run out of room, just remember you can just go with NIH. We didn't abbreviate it, so we're having to learn, like, you have to spell everything out for people. And then of course sign your name, and you can change the name for, you can type in here, change it for Senator Padilla, and it'll come up this way. And then that way, let me see if I zoom in, if that's better for you. And you can find these and send it off. And sometimes your state assembly member, you can write something else for them. And maybe you can let them know what you're doing for advocacy efforts and still like write something here. But hopefully this will be helpful for any sort of advocacy with fibromyalgia. You can let them know how fibromyalgia is impacting your life, and you'd like their attention for the things that you're working on. And fibromyalgia delegates did go virtually to Capitol Hill. We are talking about appropriations requests. And for anyone else, I mean, the House reps is also things that are important for appropriations. We did have some of the House representation ask for appropriation letters that we were working on, and that's going to be momentum for later. So this is all good learning tools of like actually connecting with your representatives. And this is actually a fun tool that I was exploring because you can view more from the state or local levels, and you can learn more about who is representing different areas of interest. And this might matter to some of your other advocacy or some of your interests that you might have. You might have something related to fibromyalgia, but you're looking at more Social Security disability advocacy or other medical treatment advocacy. So please definitely use this as a resource, and give this website a try and let us know how you are doing with it. So we have the code in there. I'm going to post the description code. I'm going to post the link for everyone to use. So we do have a form letter written up, just like you may see with other organizations, and you can edit it, downsize it. Like I said, if this is reaching your character limits, you just change it out and just put the NIH. That's easier. And again, with your script as well, just make it easy as possible, because any sort of contact and information as you start the process is important for us in advocating for ourselves, because we can actually get the resources we need. We need to follow through. We need to ask for it. They need to know that we need it, right? Because there's a lot of I guess there's just a lot of misinformation about fibromyalgia across the board. As we were preparing for all these meetings, there's a lot of information out there. There was one like research study too called Fibromyalgia Wars, and why people disagree so much in the medical community about fibromyalgia. So you have to understand there's a lot of information going out there. We're not sure what people's perception is, but we want to clarify it, and we need to educate, which is a part of awareness. So this is what we talk about with public awareness. So we're doing the part to educate our congressional leaders about fibromyalgia. So you're taking that step forward in advocacy and education to your public leaders. It could be your governor, it could be your mayor. You're doing proclamations for your community. So you are doing public education and awareness to raise attention for fibromyalgia using the appropriate language. You're talking about its impact that it has on your life. So please continue doing this, and it doesn't have to stop. I'm going to let you know, it doesn't have to stop in May. We continue. I mean, this is how it works. You're going to be hearing from us when it comes to the delegates coming together again. The work is going to continue. We can't stop. And it's definitely like there's a lot of deadlines we have to meet in 2023 to keep pushing forward. So just keep building relationships with your representatives. Keep talking about the issues with them. I will say though, please be as polite as possible. It's difficult sometimes if you come in just blazing. I know I feel the fire in my belly too and having this effect. But we always talk about it with the elevator pitch, right? You might only have a little bit of time. So you don't want people like pressing that button to flee for their life to get off that elevator. So, because there's a lot of information we have as fibromyalgia patients, we want to share, we want to get things done. I completely understand because I'm frustrated too. And we're trying to deliver an important message. So we got to remember this and just, have those impact points ready to go and be able to deliver on it. And just remember, they're human beings. We want to be able to shake their hands and be like, ask them, is this something you can really get behind? And there's different answers. And maybe if the appropriations process is not important or you're reaching out to other local leaders, how can they best support you? And don't be afraid to ask those questions too moving forward. And sometimes you'll get interesting responses. I just talked to someone as well. They weren't interested. They met with one of the senators, and the senator was not interested in appropriations. They don't really do that stuff. But at the end of the meeting, they're like, well, we can send you an autographed picture. How does that sound? And I say, take the win. It's a fun, memorable moment. And we had a picture sent to us from one of the representatives too in California. And I think it's a win for your efforts, right? You get a picture with them or you get an autograph with them for now, and you can keep building up the relationship as you go. And then you send them the email to the office. Thank you so much for the picture. It means a lot. I definitely would love to continue the discussion points about fibromyalgia or other related topics in your local community because it's going to start a lot with the community level. And a lot of us are working towards changes. And I think part of the education, and I know Crystal will agree with me and some of the other delegates, is understanding the difference between advocacy at a federal level and advocacy at a state level. So which issues are going to be more geared to states, which more federal, and then which committees and who does what and who's on each committee. So there's a little bit of a strategy, but sometimes when people join us for the federal meetings, they start bringing up topics that is very definitely addressed at a state level, and people have mentioned that before. So these are things as we move forward with the education topics with Support Fibro and Team Fibro that we're going to get into for those that are really interested and want to dive in more and want to be able to write more of these letters, because we definitely want to be able to back your initiatives as an organization. And we have a lot of contacts, and different contacts we have started to collaborate more with. We definitely have supported Research America. So they're actually doing an appropriations letter right now circulating for an increase in the NIH research funding overall totals. I guess there was some disappointment that it was only increased 6% or less. So their approach is doing that. So we're supporting research all around for all disease research. And then we have other letters that we've signed on for as an organization for people and organizations like Patients Rising. So they have different committees that they work on and different letters that they're pending for integral parts of entire medical community, medical treatments. So if you need those resources or if you have an interest in a particular area, definitely reach out. And I see Kina's here from definitely joined us. It's good. And I know that she has a particular area of interest. So we'll definitely support you and get you to the right contacts. And I think also if there's a lot of interest, there's some people that lead and have more knowledge and background when it comes to certain areas and what we're working on and trying to juggle the tasks of it, because there is the advocacy component that we're doing, but there's also the patient education component, the medical education component. So there's different things that we're working on, and we're going to tie it all together. And I promise you, if you're confused, we'll tie it all together for you to make these launches and much easier, because I know you can have it where you can advocate for yourself. You can be a better health advocate for yourself, and then you can get the resources that you need to feel better. And I promise you, these resources, we will get you those resources. We've got you more mini workshops that are coming accessible, virtual, and affordable. So we'd like to do what we can to reach those, send those resources to your local area so that you can figure out what works best for you for thriving even with fibromyalgia, which seems like a lot and a heavy duty word to even say, but those resources are coming. And then you can also learn to be a better advocate for yourself out there. And we really appreciate, again, everyone who has ever spent their energy and time and money and resources to join us on the Hill, whether it be in person or virtual. It is a huge undertaking, and anyone that's participated, I appreciate all of you. So thank you, everyone. Continue the Senator rally behind us. If you do have questions, you can definitely ask. I know Crystal from the Fibromyalgia Pain Chronicles and the Veteran Voices for Fibromyalgia be happy to also answer those questions as well. And any of our team leads, we're going to be doing a lot more team leadership on the advocacy front. So we invite you to join those meetings once we get them set up for anyone that's interested. And again, if you have specific topics of interest, we may have to sort of divide into committees because there's only a certain amount of us until I get a cloning machine to figure out how to do the work. So there's stuff that we can focus on, but we don't want to lose sight of your interest as well. And we want to be able to support advocacy efforts that you're interested on however we can. And it may be pointing you to another contact or organization that is doing the work, and that may help. So like I said, we're a big supporter of Patients Rising Now for a lot of their masterclass training and the work that they do with legislation in other realms. There's the Arthritis Foundation. They've been doing other work with the Crohn's and colitis for California legislation. So we're involved with a lot, so we can try to do what we can to add you to those other groups that you might be more passionate about if this isn't necessarily what you're looking for, because it's not necessarily glamorous, is it? Asking for funding or the NIH to open up funding for reclassification of fibromyalgia. But I'm going to tell you, it's super important as we've been breaking it down. And as we said that over and over and over again, if not classified correctly, how are we going to ever move forward? I mean, people ask about disability cases, all of this, getting their doctor's information. If they're still calling it arthritis, it's super confusing all across the board. So getting a confirmed, robust research to confirm that neurological component that we need opens up a lot of confirmation to the medical community who still uses the public health resources, as we learned in our meeting today, to write out a detailed stuff. So if they don't have the updated resources on our public health agencies' websites, that's just getting translated to the medical community incorrectly. So we have to start here to get us to the other points. And I know it's not necessarily this glamorous of an approach, but it really does matter. And the more delegates we can get on board to do the work and help us out, the more important it becomes to actually do it. And like I said, we're here to support you in the other initiatives. So you get us started, you'll learn the process, you'll take the meetings, and you'll help us with the appropriations requests. And then the next steps, you can let us know, okay, I'm interested in advocacy in this area. I'm like, okay, awesome. Thank you for helping us with the appropriations request. I have the perfect contact for you to reach out to and the perfect group that's doing this type of advocacy work already. And these are all questions that we can go through, and I'd be happy to see who else is doing the work. Or if we don't know someone, we'll put the call out on social media, like for other people. Hey, does anyone else, especially in this state, are they interested in working on this topic area? And we'll help you connect to other people and do the grassroots approach, because we're doing this grassroots, patient-centered, patient-driven all the way. So let's work together and support each other all the way through and make a difference for the fibromyalgia community. So thank you, everyone. I hope everyone enjoyed all the fibromyalgia awareness events. I did not get to put on purple, so I'm going to have to make that up to Crystal. I apologize. So much going on, and like I said, I am tired of sitting a lot, but we are getting this done for all of you out there. Again, I have that fire in the belly. I know it's hard to calm down that advocate sometimes when you're like getting going, like, just listen, please. But we have it. We're moving forward. So please utilize us as a resource for the things that you want to do. And again, Fibromyalgia Conference coming in the fall. Definitely going to hear from other patients in the community, meet and greet with community members, veteran voices, men with fibromyalgia. We're going to hear from researchers that are actually doing research in fibromyalgia that need your support. So think of this as like a good starting point for May. Going to get back into it with more interviews from other experts and doctors and health coaches, and going to continue with the health coaching program for fibromyalgia as well. So stay tuned for more. And yes, I love the energy here when it comes to all of this. And Crystal, yes, you're awesome. Go team. Definitely check out the video for Team Fibro on the page. Please share it. Please like and let people know that you are not in this fight alone. And that's the whole thing. I hope with all the content we've been sharing that there's some sense of a little bit of peace in your mind. I know that this is a debilitating disease to manage, and it takes its toll every single day on us. But I definitely, through all these awareness and advocacy events, I hope it gives you a little bit of peace that you are not fighting this alone. And there are other people in your state, in your community that you can reach out to for extra support. You can reach out to us. You can reach out to people like the Fibromyalgia Pain Chronicles and Veteran Voices for Fibromyalgia and other bloggers and podcasters that we're going to be sharing with you continuously. That Gaming Dad is awesome. We're going to have a giveaway for him and his live streaming. So we're covering the entire community. So again, you are not in this fight alone. We're right there with you. So keep sticking with us and all of our friends. And we're going to get through this together. We are in this together, and we're going to fight this together. So thank you, everyone. I am Melissa Tolwar. I am the executive director of the Support Fibromyalgia Network. And I will be on here more regularly doing more education talks now that we're still doing advocacy, but a little bit less of a planning. So take care. And I'll try to check in at the end of the week. Bye.